Uniforms often go unnoticed in the chaos of battle or the thrill of gameplay, but their role in video games and real life is far more significant than most players realize. In this video essay, we'll explore the multifaceted impact of uniforms, focusing on the ability to enhance gameplay, deepen storytelling, and set the tone of a virtual or real-world experience. Whether it's post-apocalyptic armor patched together from slain enemies, or the futuristic white design of a sci-fi operator, uniforms serve as more than just decorative elements. They're tools for immersion, functionality, and identity. Let's break down how these seemingly simple designs shape the gaming experience and mirror their real-world counterparts. I'm Astro, the Unlucky Gunner. I have over 7 years of experience within the United States Marine Corps, self-instruction on various foreign militaries' uniform, weapon, gear, and other identification, and various other topics. Uniforms are far more than just cosmetic choices. They are powerful tools that shape how we perceive, engage with, and immerse ourselves in both fictional and real-world environments, and influence gameplay, storytelling, and tone setting. Uniforms do more than just tell a story. They shape how players feel about the game world. By understanding the tone conveyed through uniforms, players can immerse themselves more deeply in the game's narrative and mechanics. Uniforms are often one of the first things we notice about a character or a faction. They establish not just team identity, but also the setting of the world which we're diving into. Take Fallout New Vegas as an example. The New California Republic, or the NCR, soldiers wear gear that feels like a blend of early 20th century military equipment and the spaghetti western aesthetics. This deliberate choice reflects their identity, having one foot in the post-apocalyptic wasteland of the present and the other in the romanticized ideals of a bygone era. This careful use of uniforms extends beyond appearance. Its storytelling in fabric and armor. A uniform can tell you if a faction is disciplined, chaotic, somewhere in between, and whether or not they intend on focusing on camouflage aspects. It sets expectations and helps players intuitively understand the characters. In other games, uniforms aren't just for looks, they serve a functional purpose. They establish team identity, role clarity, and faction alignment. In squad-based shooters like Battlefield, from Battlefield 1942 to Battlefield 1, the developers carefully curated equipment, camouflages, and even voice lines to distinguish from friend to foe. Some games lock specific weapons, gear, and cosmetics to certain factions, reinforcing their unique identities. At Battlefield 2 and Battlefield 3, for instance, players needed to unlock faction-specific equipment by progressing through the ranks. This system not only fostered a sense of progression, but also ensured a visual and mechanical distinction between opposing sides, such as AKS-74Us for the Russian side, M16A3 on the American side. Games like Team Fortress 2, Halo, and Insurgency Sandstorm demonstrate how customization can coexist with uniformity. In Team Fortress 2, characters are instantly recognizable due to their distinct silhouettes, ensuring clarity even in chaotic battles. The game maintains a red versus blue aesthetic, preserving team identity despite allowing for cosmetic customization. Similarly, Insurgency Sandstorm offers a wide range of customization while locking certain gear to factions. The security team uses NATO-style weapon systems, gear, and camos, while insurgents rely on civilian clothing, improvised gear, and Soviet-style weapon systems. These design choices balance creativity with functional cohesion, ensuring that characters can very quickly distinguish friend from foe. While many games nail the balance between customization and clarity, others fall short.
Oh, Lieutenant. Am I glad you're not around to see this?
Just do it! Just fucking do it!
Call of Duty, for example, has shifted towards flashy, neon-colored skins and sci-fi tracer effects, often disrupting immersion. It's jarring to see a squad of soldiers, meant to be elite operatives, wearing bright, glowing outfits that clash with the tone of the game's gritty, war-torn environments, such as dealing with sensitive subject matter like war crimes, genocide, human experimentation, terrorism, and others. The visual noise can also detract from gameplay. When factions look indistinguishable, players are often forced to rely on UI elements like nameplates and health bars to identify allies and enemies. This not only clutters the screen, but also makes the experience feel less intuitive and forces developers to railroad players into a specific gameplay style. The role of uniforms in video games draws heavily from their real-world military counterparts. In military contexts, uniforms are far more than just clothing. They are essential tools designed with functionality, identity, and tradition in mind. Their application extends into various aspects of military operation, and their principles often inform game design. In real-life military camouflages allow for quick identification of friendly or enemy personnel, equipment, and even to the specific organizations which they belong to. One example is multicam. Multicam is ever increasingly becoming the NATO standard for identification, but even within multicam, many countries are adding small details which allow for relative easy separation for whom they belong to. The United States Marine Corps Desert Morpack camouflage pattern is easily separated from AOR-1, for instance, due to the USMC adding small Eagle Globe and Anchors, or EGAs, into the material. The Chinese Communist Party in the modern day has even gone a step further by having every single faction of the People's Liberation Army, or PLA, have separate uniforms. All 6 branches of the PLA utilize separate color schemes, separate patterns, separate rank insignias, separate steels, and styles to differentiate themselves. Lastly, even when it comes to weapon identification, a military organization, or capabilities alone can be assessed by the configuration seen. A great resource for many of the topics covered today can be found through the Coral Sea Rating Company, or Coral Sea Arc, on Instagram or via their website. They offer many free or paid-for guides to learn vehicle, weapon, camouflage, etc. identification, and their almost every Friday Instagram quizzes are pretty fun. We appreciate you spending your time with us on these complex and interesting topics, and thank you, Manancho, for having me again. I can be found on YouTube or Twitch as Astro the Unlucky Gunner, and I hope to see you in the near future.